morning, Bucknutters. It is Tuesday, January 30th, 2018. I'm Dan Rubin. This is the Bucknuts Morning 5 and Change. Joined, as always, on Tuesdays by Duane Long. Everyone will be happy that we had our weather discussion off the air. It's cold and it sucks in Dayton and Columbus. Here's what doesn't suck: Buckeye recruiting. It's been very interesting recently. I'm going to talk to Duane today about a couple guys, the first of which, Tavion Thomas, Dunbar running back. We thought he was off the radar. Then on Sunday, Bucknuts learned that he was actually on campus talking to Urban. Next thing you know, he has an offer. He's decommitted from Oklahoma, and Bill Kurlick has his crystal ball flipped to Ohio State. What changed? In terms of his academics, that was always a concern. We're still not sure where that stands. Obviously, it changed enough that the Buckeyes are optimistic in creating a spot for him in the class. But let's talk about this first. Duane, you took a look at Tavion Thomas on film. What would the Buckeyes be getting if he committed?
This is a kid that he's got all the tools. He's one of those rare runners that is both a power guy with speed. He's going to run through any arm tackle. He's going to rip the guy's arm off. He's going to spend the rest of the game on the sideline. Don't even try it. You got to hit this guy to bring him down. And once he gets through, he's a threat to take it all the way. He's got shake and bake. He'll miss. He's got great feet. Just what he does in the hole, he's outstanding. I've loved this guy from the start. I hated that things went sour early on. I mean, it looked like he was going to be all Buckeye. Everything just seemed to be working, and all of a sudden, nothing. We got nothing. So I think he's underrated. I would love to have him in the class. I know people are complaining about three backs, but this is a kid that you want. Now, I'm going to say this, Dan. I'm not necessarily convinced he's going to be in the class, so to speak. He's going to be a Buckeye, but he's going to be – I just got a feeling his decommitment from Oklahoma, there was more to that. It wasn't just wanting to come back to Ohio State and Ohio State being interested. I think the academics are still really an issue. No, I'm just going on, my own, just how I'm reading between the lines. I think what's going to happen here is he's going to come back, he's going to commit to Ohio State, but we're going to get him to Fork Union, get his academics up, and he'll be back in a year. I just got a gut feeling that's going to happen. If it doesn't, if he's in this class, he's going to be a Buckeye this year. Oh, that's great. I really think he belongs. Not surprised that Oklahoma wanted him. I think he's just a great back. Like I said, I love his feet. You got a 225-pound kid that he makes people miss in tight spaces, and that's just rare. I mean, that's a Zeke Elliott thing. So. Very happy if this does happen. I know the three backs is an issue for some people.
Yeah, I'm not really – I don't get bogged down in that quite as much just because those numbers change so much. I mean, what's three backs now is such a fluid situation with everybody across the board that you just take the best players possible. I also think the fact that he's from Ohio, it means a little bit more to me. I mean, keep in mind, he does not want to go to junior college. He has said that will be plan B, but it clearly has been discussed. So perhaps this is a way of it's being introduced to him, and he's just getting used to it, and then eventually, like you said, that everything will fall into line. I mean, listen, since he decommitted from Oklahoma, Florida State has already called him. So, and I can tell you, having seen him in person, and also seen him play basketball, he is a legit 220 pounds. I mean, you're talking about for high school. You're definitely shooting this kid's knees. I can't believe anyone could even tackle the guy up top. He's a man among boys when it comes to him. His body is ready for whether he can handle the pain of it is one thing, but in terms of physically, he is college ready right now and has been since he's about 16. He's a stud. The receiver on his team, Joseph Skates, equally talented kid, just committed to Iowa State, also has a little bit of the academic kerfuffle. Definitely interesting. I think that's pretty much a done deal, like you said. I think Tavion Thomas will be a Buckeye eventually, or will commit to the Buckeyes. Whether he is there in the first year, I do think is a variable right now. But it's interesting, and you've got to think that in this case, this is one of those guys that Urban wants because he was pretty far off the radar. And for him to come back and have such a strong kind of spot now, my guess is that this is one of Herb's guys. Speaking of which, the Buckeyes did add a receiver over the weekend out of the San Diego area. Chris Olave, or Olave, I apologize. What are your thoughts on kind of the receiver out of Cali?
I really like the kid. I think he's just so underrated. I'm looking in the database to look at his film, and I saw he's number 54. No, he's not. It's just he hasn't been. There's no way he had been evaluated properly. That kid's top 25, maybe top 20 receiver in the country. He's going to be a flanker. He's got a real good quickness. I mean, he is coming off the line. He's flying. You know, you got to get on him and make sure, because once he's by you, you're not catching him. Defensive backs have got to be they got to be locked down. They got to be ready for this kid because he's just got that explosion. Comes out, breaks real good on his patterns, catches the ball with his hands. This is a real nice get. And flanker is we're starting to get long in the tooth at flanker. We're going to be losing some guys. So he's a nice addition to the class.
No question. Some of the Buckeyes were at the Senior Bowl. You've got a host of guys trying to go for the Sunday money, and we encourage them to get as much as they can. Jalyn Holmes and Tyquan Lewis were both at the Senior Bowl. In your opinion, Jalyn Holmes or Tyquan Lewis, who will be the better pro?
I think Jalyn Holmes will be. He's got more of a prototype body that the NFL is looking for. He's long. He's that guy that's out on the edge, and he's got great burst off the line. He's the one that's just the physical specimen that's got a better chance of projecting. Tyquan Lewis is just a hard-working guy. He's a talented football player. He's just going to be a little I'm not going to be surprised if he doesn't slide down, because we saw him heavier than when he got his official weigh-in. He was more like a three-technique tackle in weight. I mean, he was like 285, 286, somewhere in there. So I could see somebody, he's like 6'3", and that's not, you don't see ends much under 6'4" these days. You just need that length out there. It really doesn't matter, especially in the pass rush. So I would not be surprised if he slides down to tackle at the NFL level. But Holmes is the one I think is going to be. He was so impressive in this game. He's the best lineman in the Senior Bowl, no doubt about it. He's got so much more to learn, and that one spin move sack that he made, and he had another sack and several tackles for loss. That one spin move, you can't teach that. That's a guy that has just got another level of athleticism.
There you have it, Bucknutters. A little recruiting, a little pro action. Make sure you have it here locked into Bucknuts all day. Have a good one, Bucknutters.